like a daddy Mac. Dan's 30 years got our way, trading life and markets every day. Rusty's chained to the mines, digging deep day by day. But when Option Omega releases new features, he's free to come out and play option. Omega, you're trading home, where every move makes you feel less alone.
Beep, 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 beep.
That's right.
Markets in turmoil, fellas.
There it is.
Do you know what the joy? Do you know what the joy of options trading is to me, or probably any trading really? Is how quickly you can be. You know, you think about a plumber. You do plumbing work. You're an apprentice for a couple years, and then you get a plumbing business. You're still new to it. It's still going to take years. You know, you're a computer programmer. It's going to take a long time to get good at it. With financial trading, you get to be a veteran so quick.
Oh yeah,
because people just go broke all the time. That's just the nature of the thing. And so, I was thinking about this morning, just looking on the interwebs and seeing people being like, "Whoa, whoa," yeah. And I think to myself, this really might be the first time you've ever seen a 70-point gap. I mean, it's not out of the question that a huge amount of the trading public has never seen a 70-point gap, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Right. You know? Right. When you get a big, I still remember this quote, Troy. This was years ago. I was talking to an executive. I don't even know an executive, and some higher up at a brokerage firm. And we were talking about education and, you know, something crazy like, hey, if you actually taught the students a little more, spent more focus on teaching them, they'd hang around longer, because he said their problem was every 3 months they needed another batch of warm bodies, right, in the brokerage firm, because people wouldn't last more than 3 months. And I'm like, yes. And so when you just said that comment there, that people, even after, you know, they may never have seen a 70-point gap. Yeah, because you get a new batch of warm bodies that come in. But this is pretty, I'm not going to say it's normal, but, you know, when we're, you know, it just feels like a Rocky movie on the ropes. You know, we're just, you know, it's like the thing that gets me crazy is like they were quoting the Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs executives today saying, you know, that's why they're paid the big $1 million, because I'll give you their quote. You know, in the next 12 to 24 months, we should see a 10 to 15% or whatever down move in the market. I'm like, boy, you're a genius, right? That you're an absolute stunning genius. That you know, come on. I mean, we're going to have some burps, right? We're going to have some 10%.
We did this year.
Yeah, we did this. Yeah, we did this year in April, and these geniuses. So I want to shout out to the Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs executives who just have the wisdom to say that now that we're near the highs and we could go down a little bit. But anyways,
Matt, I mean, listen, you too are a veteran now of the trade wars.
I mean, I don't even. So I have overnight positions on appropriately sized. I didn't look at futures from 4:15 until just an hour ago. I mean, I don't know what caused it. I'm sure. Was there a tweet? Is this tweet related or earnings related?
I think part of it is wouldn't you say good? I don't know how much of it is the Palantir came out, and then that's dragging some of the others in sympathy are going down today. Like AMD, last I looked, could be down 2%, NVDA down 1%, Oracle down 2%, Palantir down 7%. So don't they have enough of a?
Yeah. Palantir, I mean, this is one that would be interesting to model out a couple things on at some point, because again, not that we're going to like start talking about single stocks on the show every day, but whenever you hear people talking about froth, Palantir is it's an obvious name to talk about because they're I mean, here, we can do this live. Their market cap and their earnings are, I mean, there's a big disconnect, you know.
Matt, you're a business guy. I was reading this in the paper today. It said, all right, they're up 173% for the year.
Okay. Having a normal one.
I don't even know what this, I'm not an accountant. 200 times forward earnings. They're trading. Yeah. They have a PE of 700.
Yeah. I mean,
translate that.
I mean, I would think, so the interesting thing about Palantir, they're not a brand new company.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around for a while. I remember, this is really going to date me. I remember a time when Wall Street Bets was useful on Reddit.
You are a veteran.
5+ years ago. And you could trade Palantir only on the secondary market. So you couldn't buy shares, but there was a fund that was publicly owned that you could buy to get Palantir exposure. And I owned it. It was Suro. I remember all this, like before they launched, before all this stuff, before they went public. Checking in on them now, I have not owned it. I don't think I've ever owned it as a single stock. Their market cap, this is Yahoo Finance, so I'm just going to like a normal site. Their market cap is almost 500 billion. I mean, it won't be after open, but it was yesterday. Yeah. And let's see, their 2025 revenue guidance is 4.4 billion. So they're trading at 100 times sales, I guess. I
saw a good one the other day. It said it's as if you had a plumbing company in your local city.
Yes.
And it was $1 million plumbing company. And people came to you and said, we would like to buy your company for $180 million. That's what the equivalent. You think about like real businesses in a city, your city, with valuations of what stocks are, and it gets really funny really fast. Where it's like, I have $1 million plumbing company.
Yeah.
It's worth $180 million.
Right.
Why?
Because worried about how much money the plumbing.
Because plumbing's so hot right now. Plumbing's so hot right now.
It's like, so hot right now.
Listen, here's the thing. People, I watched the Palantir stuff. The newsletter talk yesterday was real good to me because I just I went back. This is a rare thing. I went back to the cigar shop last night. And do you know what I did?
Oh, a PM session.
I did a PM study session. You know what I did for basically 2 to 3 hours? I just looked at news that would confirm my bias to the downside.
Perfect.
That's it. That's all you need to do. That's what it is in that news. Yeah.
And I felt so smart. I felt so smug. I felt so good. Here's the real reason, though. I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys now. Palantir is the supposed reason. I'm going to go ahead and give you the real reason real quick. The comet's accelerating, non-gravitational.
Oh,
the comet.
Here we go. Talk about the comet. Listen, I don't know anything, Troy. So I'm an anti-veteran on the comet. Tell me about the comet.
So there's this thing, asteroid comet.
Halley's comet?
No, close. So
Troy, this isn't related to plumbing in any capacity.
No.
Other
than that, if it hits, it might wipe out all of them.
That's true. So here's the thing real quick about the Atlas. There's a comet asteroid, I don't know. And it's a really, really old one. Everybody agrees on that. It might be one of the oldest rocks in the universe. Okay. Yeah. Months ago, people come. It's coming towards in our solar system. And people say, hey, that thing looks actually kind of weird. It's actually doing some weird stuff. And so the scientific community, this is just the scientific community at this point. And they're like kind of buzzing a little bit like there's some weird stuff going on with this one. So a couple guys, one in particular, basically said, hey, I actually think this thing might not be a rock at all. I think this thing might have some sort of self-propulsion going on.
A spaceship?
So, but here's the thing. I know we're all laughing inside. I'm not a believer. I'm not an alien guy.
But you want to
hear
believe.
But hear me out. Just hear me out.
Too.
Hear me out. So for months now, basically they were like, when it goes behind, it went behind the sun last week. When it goes behind the sun, right, it's not from it is from interstellar space. It's just visiting our solar system. It goes behind the sun, and they said basically, like, listen, everyone who thinks this is an alien, you guys are idiots. The gravitation asteroid will just stay on a gravitational plane. Now it'll change gravitational pull through time and things like that, but like gravity is the thing driving this thing. That's probably not correct either. Listen, I'm a options guy. I'm not an asteroid guy. But here's the thing. This is what's so interesting to me. NBC News, that stalwart of truth.
Yeah.
That beacon of accountability.
Oh, I like it.
They admitted last night the thing is not, it is moving in a way that's not what comets or asteroids do.
Not what we would expect.
Okay. Not what we expect.
Listen,
now, Matt,
we've got the chat. The chat is already weighing in on this.
Listen, they said, she said, he said, I'm just telling you what it is. This is literally the definition of black swan events.
I knew you were going to bring it to tails.
Listen, a lot of you guys, a lot of you guys didn't say that the market go down 70 points either.
Yeah.
So what are we doing here? Anyway,
hey,
so
man, Troy, real quick, the you know what was interesting yesterday? We opened up in the morning, right? We were up whatever, 15, 18, 20 points. VIX was up almost a point, right? So it was up, right? And I'm thinking, all right, it makes some sense. And then all of a sudden, I had a butterfly and a little bit of short vague. I'm like, why am I up 5? This was like 3 hours later, up like 5-6% on a 25-day butterfly. I'm like, nah, that doesn't happen. And I was a little short delta. And I'm like, wow, VIX is now down a point. So it's like somebody came out, we're okay now, right? And this was when the SPX was up. We were up 80 cents, and it gave all of that up, I think, was interesting. And so then we closed at 17, right? So I don't know if VIX, the high yesterday was 1820, I'm not sure. But today, right back up to, it looks like we're going to open around 19.18. And, that's why I was going to ask you, Troy, from a market profile as well as looks like there could be in the futures, we traded under 6,700. Now we're at 6,810, down 72. What's your thoughts on?
I haven't looked at the few. Did we trade under 67?
Yeah, it was over 100-point move. It looks like
under 6,800 in the futures we did today. Last night.
Oh, under 6,800. I was just saying, if we went to 6,700, that'd be like
no.
Okay. And that wouldn't make any sense because I literally got up every hour last night to check futures. So I would have called it. Anyway, I mean, from the market profile perspective, this is kind of the thing. Let's do this real quick. Basically, my screen's not great for this, but this is the action the last couple of days, okay? And we're gapping below, obviously, yesterday's stuff, But if you go all the way here, basically, we had a gap, I think, last week, and we gapped up. Well, we've now filled that gap, meaning we have gone back down. We're now below that. There's actually another gap because we gapped up a lot last week.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the futures, right?
Yeah.
Futures. Okay.
It's at 67.85. So if we go, and this is not rocket science, but basically the idea is if we go back into the 67.85 right here, well, 67.35 is in play. Right?
The low is 67.86 in the futures.
Okay, 67.86.
That's
rocket science.
Look at that.
You didn't know what that was the exact level you called out.
I just want to show you something. I really didn't know that.
Yeah. I
want to be clear. That's the power of market profile, is just because it's not anything hooky spooky. It's just the price levels, past price levels matter. That's what you have to like.
And
yeah,
volume,
that's
right?
Yeah, every gap must be filled. You just don't know when. That's exactly right. Tom Lee is correct. Market profile basically states all gaps will be filled. So it could be months away. You can't like just short it, but I mean, it will eventually hit that gap. That's just how it works. So that's the second order gap. That's correct.
The chat's on. Keep them coming, guys.
All right,
We're
listen.
having a great day today.
So here's the thing. There's a lot of chatter this morning about buy the dip. Just buy the dip. I actually just got a personal message that says, 5 times we gapped 10 times this year. It's 50-50. Sometimes we continue, sometimes we go up.
Fascinating. You could backtest that.
I will say a friend of the show. This is the first time this has ever happened. A friend of the show messaged me this morning out of care for you all, internet audience listening. And shout out that person. I'm going to let him remain anonymous, or she remain anonymous. But it's a he. So I'll give that. Based on our demographics, I think that's a pretty safe bet. But they asked me if we could speak to the newer traders who are lining up at 9:30 to buy the dip. Why that might not be the best idea.
Well, it does. Sometimes you get more dip. You think you've eaten all the 7 layer, and then comes a 14 layer right after it.
Well, Dan, can VIX go higher than 20?
Yes, and let me start out with I don't know who made this statement, another wise statement. It might have been from the cigar shop in Chicago, the legendary, I forget the name of it, but don't catch a falling knife, right? You hear that a lot around earnings when the stock goes down and everybody says, buy it, right? Don't catch a falling knife. Whether that can apply to today, but I think, a wise thing might be, let's just see it at lunchtime, right? Let's get a feel of what it's going or what it's doing. And again, the other thing is, if you're going to play, right, to fade the move, you do it small, you do it in a defined risk capacity, because I still remember just bringing up, you think about the COVID crash, which happened in 5 weeks. But yeah, you could sell volatility when it went from 20 to 30. Then you could sell it from when it went from 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60, and you run out of money. So you can, when you sell volatility and it goes against you, that means you're losing money. And then you want to do more and more. So I think, to me, the mantra for selling volatility is, yes. Do we like high volatility? Yes. But we want some stability, some evidence that the world isn't ending. And right now, just wait. I mean, again, we're up a couple points in VIX. That's nothing, right? Right? Then just be patient, right? Be very, very patient. This is no panic to go. I mean, yesterday we traded what, Troy and Matt, in the 18s in VIX. We're at 19, low 19s.
Yeah.
Is this what do you really want to go
the big
in?
One? Is this
do you really want to make Custard's last stand here? Come on. I mean,
yeah, I think that's spot on advice. I think that's wise. Are we saying that it's not going to rebound? No, of course not. There's a great chance that it rebounds today. The vol goes down. The vol could be down on the day by 4 o'clock. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
but I will say this. One of the things, now this is a heuristic. It's anecdotal, but I think it's true. I now would like to present you with alpha. It's just my favorite. I'm now going to present alpha to you. Yeah. If you know the reason it's dropped, then you know why it's going to go back up, right? And sometimes time is all that takes. Like Liberation Day stuff, we drop 90. We're in an environment where there's still enough unknowns. We go back up, right? In general, we do revert. Here's the problem with today's one. I don't know. I think there actually could be a couple reasons we're dropping. And so you need to let it work out a little bit. It's my personal opinion. Could it be Palantir? Correct. Could it be the repo market having trouble? Correct. Could it be that the government shutdown's now at past 30 days and that affects the repo market a little bit? Could be. Like there's a lot going on.
Could it be we're at near all-time highs? And we just
could it be cyclical nature of the market? 100%.
Yeah. And so here's a comment from the chat. What do you guys think? Sell a put spread. Do we think it's safe? That's not the kind of show this is. So we don't give advice, especially on specific trades. There's plenty of places that do. It's not us. But you can back test that. And a simple back test going back from dailies, just selling an at the money put spread on open. And Jackie, I don't even know what strikes those are. So I'm not going to directly even acknowledge that question. I'm going to tell you something different. Since dailies, we've had a gap down of 1% minimum 23 times.
That's it. Wow.
If you sell, and 10 of those are this year, if you sell a put spread at the money, again, not answering your question at all. If you sell a put spread at the money, it's a red trade this year. It's also a red trade since dailies with super small sample sizes. It's kind of interesting that both this year and since dailies, it's basically 50-50 coin flip, whether it is going to continue or whether it's going to rebound.
And that's in Matt, what you said is with the back testing, did you say 23 times?
23 times since daily. So a super, super small sample size. So it's not even really useful. But if you wanted to try to infer something, it would also be kind of impossible because there's a super small sample size and it's red and it loses half the time and it wins half the time. So
could I address one thing after I don't want to address as far as the person who was kind enough to put, okay, I have this idea. I would just like to maybe take a stab just for a second at the word safe.
Yeah.
Right. He said safe, just like I've heard this for years, Dan, covered rights are conservative. Cash secured puts are for wild rebels like James Dean. Right. And we won't allow that our brokerage firm, but you could do covered rights till the cows come home. And when you say, the last I looked, the graph's the same stinking thing, right? It's like, oh, whatever. But the word safe is an interesting word. It's like that word conservative. You can make it whatever you want. It's just like commissions in the brokerage business, right? We can make commissions are zero.
Right.
But we'll put enough fees in there to make you pay more than the mortgage.
Right.
Well, the word safe means something different to everybody. I mean, to me, what would be safe would be I'm doing for example, I'll use me as a guinea pig. Today, if you said, okay, Dan, would you be willing to put $200 down in a vertical debit spread or a out of the money call butterfly in SPX, betting that we would go up? Yes, to me, that would be safe, right? Because it's a defined risk spread, because it's a vertical debit spread in the vertical spread or a butterfly. You can do them for a couple $100 in a $6,000 vehicle. If you lost to 200, it's not gonna, it's something you'd be willing to risk. But safe would be defined risk, right? I would say safe includes defined risk. But the problem with safe is if this gentleman went out and did $2,000 safe trade and he lost to 2,000 and it caused him to, kick the tree 42 times, that's not safe. So I just think sometimes the word conservative, the word safe can be interesting words. And you have to bring it back. But I think what Matt did was you bring it back and say, okay, a little bit of reality. How many 1% gaps do we get?
Not very many.
That's helpful. Yeah, that's helpful to me. It's not that many, right? And the other thing, do you really have an edge with the put credit spread? I mean, when he was talking about the put credit spread there, okay, what are you going to? If it's a 5-wide put credit spread, you have risk of $500 less your credit. So let's say you get $1, right at the most. right? That way you have $400 of risk, right?
Yep.
Is it safe? You know, again, I don't mean to pound on the word safe, but you know, that's an interesting, yeah.
Shout out,
Yeah.
Michael. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Love it. I think that's exactly right. And I think one of the things with the type of gaps and stuff like that is, look, if you know how to sell puts, this is my, like Rob Maria. Rob, if you sell puts and you know how to sell puts, that's all you do all day. You know how to do it. It's business as usual. Do whatever you want. I don't care.
Business as usual.
If you've
Right.
never sold puts before and that's not your thing, and you're looking at new strategies to do this morning, you know, maybe do some more research before you
something that's happened 20 times in like 4 years or whatever.
Yeah, jump on. I mean, listen, I will say
It's a low number.
It is. I will say this. If I was going to start a brokerage, I would do 0% commissions, but I would do a $2 resort fee per contract.
I love the
resort fee. Yeah, a resort fee.
It's called a resort fee. And it's for the usage, you know. Listen, I do want to continue our talk this morning real quick about what we talked about yesterday, which is a 0-1 DC that looks great year to date. We still are struggling. SPX dailies. I've done some more research on that. We'll talk about that another time, but why it struggles early on. Well, we might talk about today. But guys, if you remember yesterday, we had this 930 DC. Doesn't make any sense because it's a 0-1. Don't worry about that. And we've done two things with this. We have added a short long ratio. So let me put where you guys see. If you see here in the miscellaneous there, we have a min short long ratio of 35.35.
2.5.
That's in miscellaneous.
I got you.
And
Right.
we exit when it's a stop loss of 0.25.
Short long.
I got
Short long. So it's a short long entry, a short long exit. It doesn't have a rail.
It does have a rail, Matt.
I'm sorry.
It does have a rail.
It doesn't have a delta rail, does it?
Well, no, but I mean, it has a rail.
Okay, yeah, it's got a profit target. It doesn't have a delta rail. It's got the short long. And Troy's getting ready to do something else important. This was actually asked on our Discord the other day about early exiting DCs, and there was a response from the community. Friends don't let friends hold DCs to expiration. I thought that was apropos. So there, Troy is adding an early exit to this. So we've got a profit target, a short long, and an early exit. What else do we need?
Well, I mean, so here's the thing. This is why this test is interesting to me. One could argue this year it doesn't need anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I'll put it this way. We've showed worse tests for trades of the year before than this.
Yeah. You know, and you've cranked it up to 100%. So a max drawdown of 30% at 100% allocation. I mean,
yeah, and never trade 100% of anything.
Yeah. How many times is a profit target exit? And sorry, I'm interrupting you. Continue.
No, you're fine. So it profit targets about this much. That is a non number.
A lot lately.
But what I'll say is this. And I upped the profit target to 10%.
Okay.
Yesterday.
Important. Important.
Yeah. Good catch. So here's the thing that's interesting to me. I've run this a bunch of times. I've actually spent quite a bit of time on this test because I think it's a super interesting test.
It's a fascinating concept.
Yeah. One of the things that there's 3 ways to get killed on this test. You blow past the upside, you blow past the downside, it literally does nothing. Like most double calendars, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of even though it's a diagonal. So here's the question. Why does it stink so bad early on? And I have a theory for this, but I want to hear you guys out because this isn't good advice. It's just a theory. This whole test is a theory. Okay. Here's the test. Here's the theory. I think 2022, the idea of 0-1s, it was really hard for the market to I think there was some real-time pricing going on of 0-1s.
Interesting.
Because those were the first couple months when dailies existed.
Oh, it's okay. Okay.
And
Dailies every day. Yeah. Tuesdays and Thursdays came on in May.
So my theory is there was probably some mispricing going on, and if you believe markets are efficient, blah, 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 how could that happen? Well, they eventually get more efficient. And I actually think this year shows that this is an efficient trade. I'm not advocating for it, but I'm saying it was probably inefficient pricing. That's my theory. Guys, what do you think of that?
Well, that was May. So looking with the down, that would have been May through October. I'm trying to see when it was mostly down.
Yeah. Let me go.
May through October 22, which would have been when VIX was up, right?
Yeah. So you have a huge one, May 18th. And basically we drop 120 points.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start a full board out.
That's a tough way. It's a tough way.
Oh my goodness.
Tough start.
That goes back to that Delta rail, huh?
Tough start.
Tough start.
Oh, and that okay, so that's down 120, but there's no Delta rail on this, right?
Right.
It's just
you wrote it all the way down.
Yep.
Any Troy any bad ones from the middle?
I think we run out of money. Do we run out of money?
Was it mostly price?
Yeah, let me run it with one just to show you kind of the drawdown a little bit.
Yeah.
Tom, I think that's exactly right. Vol's premium was different back in 22. I think that's right. That's my theory.
Yeah.
I also want to just keep this Halloween font for when we show people all the time. Like that Halloween font is amazing to me.
It is.
Gorgeous.
It is.
I really do love it. So here's if you ran it nonstop with one contract, it is a winner, but you can clearly see that really since Trump won the election, to be honest,
you're right.
It just took off.
Listen, somebody's going to put in a candy request now for a Trump bubble, Troy. It's just going to be Trump's terms. You click it and it's Trump's second term, T1, T2.
No, that's exactly right. Trump 1, Trump 2 lines.
I think you're like, if we tested, because that's a 0-1, right? Whereas if during that same period, most other DCs that weren't 0-1 looked really good, right?
That's right. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's got to be
well.
Yeah. And did even like most of the, would you say most of the double calendars, even like 5-9 days out, 2022, because the vol stayed sticky, did well. So this would be the only one that you know of, right? With you guys testing the DCs during that period.
Yeah, that's right. Oh boy, we got the
look who's here.
Today's guests on the show.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you.
All right, we're back.
Don't ever bother me again. Don't ever do that.
This is my YouTube show. Get your own content.
Go get your own show.
Find your own following. It's a monster. Okay, so this is kind of to the point. This is May 22 of January 2023. This is a 1-2 version of this.
Mm-hmm.
It does better, right?
In 22, you're right. In 22, it does do better.
So this is my theory, is that it's kind of there's maybe some mispricing going on early on. Now you still need to do a rail. You still need to deal with those exits getting blown out. So yeah.
Troy, was the 3 or 4 biggest losers on this? Was it all price?
Yeah. You get.
So was there any that got nailed with the volatility with the middle?
Yes. Let me go back here real quick.
Yeah, and while we're doing this, I mean, same disclaimer / really just a note. This test is being workshopped right now, so we're not sharing the link to this. We're workshopping this thing. If you wanting to trade something with a 1% premium capture rate, Should reevaluate. We're workshopping this. We're going to keep workshopping. Actually, Troy, I'll be around tomorrow too. We can.
We'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, and then we actually Thursday and Friday. I think the show is just going to be a little bit thinner. It's going to be me and Dan. So we're
much
probably
better though. Thinner, literally and figuratively.
Probably a lot of Italian beef Portillo's talk.
Yeah,
might talk about the 12-pound smoked pork. Easy for you to say. The 12-pound smoked pork butt that I smoked last night. I will be eating still on Friday, live on the show.
Wow, that sounds really, excuse me, really good.
I mean, it was my best one.
It's also Matt's nickname for me. Old smoked pork butt.
There it is. Easy for me to say.
All right, so this is we were looking at. You asked the question? Does it get just
short long?
Short long.
Yeah.
You got one right here, October 21st. Price just really didn't do much.
Yeah.
And you just decayed all day, basically. Well, it decayed all day. You got out in an hour.
Wow. That's
all
quick.
got crushed.
And then the same thing the day before, but just not as rapid and not as severe because it was lost maybe,
but
10%.
Listen, what we've done basically is we have added now a rail to get out with the short long from just dying, right? You're going to take it's like a stop loss basically on a vol rails with that short long ratio does. So now the work begins of trying to add rails to where you don't get killed on a blow through. So, please send them. I mean, I know we're not sending this test, so it's hard for people to actually test this.
That's part of the challenge. This is like step one of Bud's training. Like we're not doing it all for you. If you want to be on the SEAL team.
And just a reminder for people, because people, I love them. Just because we share a test, don't trade it, please. We really do just get questions all the time and be like, why didn't it work? Like, well, we talked about that on the show. Oh, I just got the test. Don't do that.
Bro,
don't
what?
do that. Be big boys and girls. Come on. Do better.
Yeah.
So anyway, listen, where are we at market wise?
Futures are down 71. It's been kind of there.
Oh, we're rebounding a little bit there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean,
hey, Troy and Matt, do we have time for one quick question to you guys?
Yeah.
Is that if you bring up that test again, Troy, is that normal? You guys, I mean, know this a lot more than I do. If you look at the minimum short, so on the miscellaneous, minimum short long is 0.35.
Yeah.
On the exit when short long ratio below 0.25. Yeah. Do those seem close, or is that normal when you're
different on every DTE? Is okay,
that short
and
long,
this type of thing. What if you put the minimum short long higher, like 0.4, or does that
much less trades, but 100% winner? Like if I can tell you,
really,
if you go 50% and you get out, you get about I think 10 of those since 2022.
Oh, okay.
So, and it makes sense, right? Like if the shorts are juiced, that makes sense. So, but yeah, that's a great question, Dan.
Okay.
All right, guys, listen, I've got to use the restroom because some people will be buying the dip. Some people are going to be selling the rip. Some people are going to be taking trips.